Hi, I'm Momo, and let me tell you about the scariest night of my life. It was dark, cold, and I was lost, all alone in the big, noisy streets. I could hear dogs barking, cars passing by, and my heart was pounding. I didn't know if I would ever find my way back home. But that's only part of my adventure. Want to hear what happened next? Stay with me until the end of this video, and I'll tell you the whole story. The friends I made, the dangers I faced, and how I finally found my way back home. You don't want to miss it. A warm, loving home. I am a little fluffy cat. I have a soft orange fur coat and bright green eyes. I live with a very nice family. There are 4 people in my family, Mom, Dad, and 2 kids, Lily and Jack. They are always so kind to me. Every day they give me delicious food and fresh water. I love curling up on the big soft couch and watching them as they talk and laugh. My favorite person in the family is Lily. She's 9 years old and has curly blonde hair. Every morning she hugs me before she goes to school. Sometimes I try to sneak into her school bag because I want to go with her. But Mom always catches me and says, "Momo, school is for kids, not for cats." Jack, who is 6 years old, is always playing with me. He loves to throw little balls, and I love to chase them. Once, he tied a string to one of his toys, and I spent hours trying to catch it as he waved it around. We had so much fun! But sometimes, when I get too excited, I scratch things I shouldn't, like the furniture. That's when Mom gets a little angry. Mischief and curiosity. Sometimes I get a little too playful, like the time when I knocked over a whole bottle of milk. I saw the bottle on the edge of the kitchen table. It was so tempting. My paw just wanted to give it a little push, so I tapped it and crash! The milk spilled everywhere. Mom was not happy, and I got into trouble. She scolded me and said, "Momo, what a mess you made." I felt a little bad, but I knew she would forgive me soon. You see, I'm a curious cat. I like to explore everything. The house is big, and there are so many places to discover. I love hiding under the bed or inside closets. Once, I even got stuck in the laundry basket. It was warm and cozy in there, but I couldn't get out. When Dad found me, he laughed and said, "Momo, what are you doing in there?" But my curiosity didn't stop there. The outside world always interested me. I would sit by the window and watch birds flying by or leaves blowing in the wind. I wondered, what is it like out there? Every day I would watch, dreaming about the adventures I could have outside. Little did I know that dream would soon become a reality. The day I ran away. One sunny afternoon, something unusual happened. The front door was open. This was my chance. I tiptoed to the door and peeked outside. The world looked so big and bright. I felt a little nervous, but also very excited. So, without thinking, I ran out. At first, it was amazing. There were trees, grass, and so many new smells. I ran around chasing butterflies and exploring everything. It was like being in a whole new world. But after a while, I realized something. I didn't know how to get back home. The house was nowhere to be seen. I had wandered too far. Panic started to set in. I was lost. The world that seemed so exciting a few minutes ago suddenly felt big and scary. The streets were noisy and there were lots of cars. I had never seen so many people walking around. I felt very small and alone, meeting new cats. As I wandered the streets, not knowing where to go, I saw other cats. They were different from me. Their fur was not as clean, and they looked tougher, like they had lived outside for a long time. One of them, a big gray cat with a torn ear, came up to me. "Hey, you look new around here," he said. His voice was deep and a little rough. I, I'm lost," I said, feeling scared. The gray cat looked at me with a curious expression. "Name's Smokey," he said. "I live out here with the other strays. We don't have homes like you do, but we survive. You'll get used to it." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. These cats didn't have warm homes or soft beds or people to take care of them. Smokey told me how they searched through trash cans for food and sometimes had to fight other animals to protect themselves. It was a hard life, and I had never imagined anything like it. I met other cats too, like Daisy, a small black cat with bright yellow eyes. She was fast and clever. She told me stories about sneaking into restaurants to steal food or hiding from dogs. They all seemed so brave, but I wasn't like them. I missed my family, my warm bed, and the safety of my home. The dark night. As the sun began to set, I started to feel even more scared. It was getting dark and the streets were cold. Smokey and the other cats were used to sleeping outside, but I wasn't. I missed Lily's soft bed and the way she would wrap me in her blanket at night. I tried to find a safe place to hide. I crawled under a car and curled up into a ball. The ground was hard and the wind was cold. I had never felt so lonely. I closed my eyes and wished with all my heart that I could go back home, but I didn't know how. The night felt long and I didn't sleep much. Every noise made me jump. I heard dogs barking, cars driving by, and people walking. It was a noisy and scary night, and I couldn't stop thinking about my family. Did they miss me? Were they looking for me? Memories of home. While I lay there trying to sleep, I thought about all the happy memories I had at home. I remembered the first day I arrived in the house. Lily was so excited to have a kitten, and she promised to take care of me forever. She gave me my name, Momo, because she said I was as sweet as a peach. I remembered how Jack would laugh whenever I chased after his toys. He would clap his hands and cheer when I caught them. And Mom, she always made sure I had the best food. Every morning, she would fill my bowl with something tasty, and I would purr in gratitude. These memories made me realize how lucky I was. I had always taken my home for granted. I never thought about what it would be like to live without my family. But now that I was lost, I missed them more than anything. Finding my way back. The next morning, I knew I had to find my way back home. I couldn't live like Smokey and the other cats. I wasn't as strong or brave as they were. I needed to be with my family. So I said goodbye to Smokey and the others and started to walk. I didn't know where I was going, but I kept walking, hoping I would see something familiar. I passed by big buildings, noisy streets, and lots of people. None of it looked like home. Just when I was about to give up, I heard a voice. It was faint, but I recognized it. Momo! Momo! It was Lily's voice. She was calling for me. I ran toward the sound, my heart pounding with excitement. As I turned the corner, I saw her. Lily and Jack were looking for me. I ran as fast as I could and jumped into Lily's arms. She hugged me tight, and I could feel her tears on my fur. Back home, safe and loved. When we got home, Mom and Dad were waiting at the door. They were so relieved to see me. Mom gave me my favorite food, and Dad scratched behind my ears, just the way I like it. I was finally safe. That night, I curled up in Lily's bed feeling warm and loved. I thought about my adventure and the cats I had met. Life outside was tough, and I admired Smokey and the others for being so strong. But I knew where I belonged. I belonged with my family in my cozy home. And from that day on, I never tried to run away again.